Well, Rick Santorum has the momentum, at least that's what they say for now, after last night's three-state stunner. But Ron Paul still gaining cash and readying his own surprise. Keep in mind, he came in second in Minnesota. No one saw that coming. Paul is doing so well, in fact, he's building a much bigger war chest than Santorum and warning his opponents not to count him out, even though he hasn't won any out-and-out contests yet. But he just keeps plodding along and acquiring those delegates along the way. The Texas congressman on the phone with us now. Congressman, good to have you.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
This is a long slug out. I've tried to, advise my colleagues here and elsewhere in the media. We jump to conclusions. I try not to, but, we got to forget the leader in the race is still around 100 delegates, and I think the math goes something like 1,144 to nail this down. Does it bug you then when everyone gets on this momentum thing?
Not really. I mean, if Romney wouldn't have lost one or two along the way, you'd be all on him and say, well, it's an automatic. Nobody can catch him. But now when, Gingrich wins one and then Santorum wins a couple, and Romney is set back a little bit. It really allows me to continue with my second and third, and hopefully, advance to first in some of these states. Because in some of these states, I can come in third or fourth, but because we have the organization, we might get the most of the delegates. A lot of people don't understand that. I shouldn't let the secret out, but
it's all about winning congressional districts, and you amass those districts, and you get the delegates. You're right about it. Yeah, but do you need to win outright, though, Congressman? That if for no other reason than to garner that attention that comes with it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I don't think you can quite. You can't get there. I guess theoretically somebody could work it out where if you had all seconds and thirds and they split all the first places up, I guess in theory you could do pretty well. But I think for PR purposes and just for credibility, you'd have to win some states.
So if we go into the next leg of this, Congressman, with Super Tuesday being the focus of attention, even though it's not as super as it's been in the past, and certainly compared to the Democrat Super Tuesday 4 years ago when you had California in there, so many other big states in there, it's really just I wouldn't say a fraction of that, but I would say half of that. So what is the real battle royale, or is it just a real slugfest right to the convention?
Well, so far it looks like it's going to be a slugfest for everybody, because I don't think Governor Romney is feeling, overly confident at the moment. He has to have concerns. So I don't think anybody. And Gingrich has his problems. I have my problems. Santorum has his problems.
But he has more money than any of you guys. The argument is that that's the one thing he has that you don't.
Yeah, and that is true, but it's also pretty neat when you see either me or Santorum or somebody else. Remember Huckabee? He did pretty well when he didn't have a lot of money,
You're
so
right.
it's conceivable you can. And fortunately, over the last 5 years or so, the super wealthy haven't always won. I can't recall the names, but I knew there were 3 or 4 last go around. Corzine, I think, is an example where money didn't buy his office. So no, that is healthy. Money does talk, and it's very, very important. And sometimes it's hard to compete. Money was one of the reasons why we didn't go down to Florida, because it was a winner-take-all, and we thought we should use our money elsewhere.
No, I thought that was very strategic on your part. But not too long ago on this very network, sir, Jack Welch, actually was on Fox News, had said Republicans should be very careful how they treat you, because the way they treated you, I'm just paraphrasing, has not been that good. And the things they said to you have not been that good. And he just wants to keep you, I think if I heard him right, in the fold. What do you make of that?
Well, you know why I think he said that. Before that interview was concluded, his wife I believe, was with him and said, well, our 4 sons really like Ron Paul.
Right. You're right about that, right? She was here alone and said that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, if you're in the business of politics and somebody has a whole generation that's interested in what I'm saying, and maybe they want to build a party, maybe they don't want to just have 65-year-olds and older people in the party, maybe they should think. But the other day somebody commented, which I really enjoyed, somebody was interviewing me, and they said, everybody says you have these young people, and it's true. But he had noticed in the last month or two, the older citizens were coming to my rallies, and I said, well, that is true, but you're the first one to notice this. So it has to happen. I mean, you can't win with one demographic, and But I think Mr. Welch is right that you have to not be rude to people. I mean, you might need a vote or two this way. Nobody has this guaranteed thing locked up, so I think it was good advice.
All right, Congress, it's always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you
very much.